hook those up. So let's go ahead and set the death flag, the reload flag, the prone flag, and the crouching flag. As I mentioned before, we need to have something in the pawn that sets these. So right now, there's nothing to drive those. So let's go back to our pawn and let's give this atom graph some inputs. So we're going back to the character BP and we want to add some more variables. We want to have a crouch flag, and a prone flag, and I'm going to come in here and look at all the inherited variables to see what character already has. Okay, so I'm going to add a float variable. We'll call that health. Go back to our atom BP here. We will use a crouch flag to set our crouching flag AB. And now you kind of see why I put that AB there, because it gets a little confusing when they're all named the same. They can be named the same. For the death flag, let's get the health. And then if health is less than or equal to 0. So if it's greater than 0, it's going to evaluate false, and so the death flag will be set to false. We forgot a reload flag. Let's go ahead and add another variable. And then again, we'll hit that as a Boolean. I'll go reload. And again, I did this way just to prove or to illustrate that, you don't have to simply copy from one to the other. Okay, so that hooks up the atom blueprint, but now these flags aren't being set. We probably won't deal with health because we don't have enemies shooting at us, so we're not taking damage, and that's getting a bit complicated. So for now, our character is going to remain healthy and probably will never die. Oh, except that our health is defaulted at 0. He'll die instantly, actually. Let's go ahead and give him 100 health. That'll fix that problem. So let's map these to inputs. So let's go back to our project settings. Let's go under input. And instead of axis mappings, let's go to action mappings. And this will be crouch. And let's put this to the C button. And it would also help if we had something on the game button, on the gamepad. We can go, let's go face button top. And then for prone, we'll make this prone. On the keyboard, we can call that, let's give it the V key, because it's next to the C key. So we're not searching the entire keyboard for our keys. And then for the gamepad, we'll do face button down. Face button bottom. There we go. Now we need a reload. Let's go ahead and, first of all, we'll name this reload. And for reload, let's use the space bar. And on the gamepad, the left shoulder. Sure, why not? Okay. Let's go back to the player character blueprint here, and let's add those events. Let's go ahead and here's our crouch. So because it's a keyboard, we can do a press and release, which is good, like say if you're doing a firing, but in this case we just want it to be as a toggle. So what we can do is we can get the value of the crouch and we're going to set it to whatever it is not. And so every time it's pressed, it should toggle that. And let's do the same for prone. And then the same with the reload. And in this case, we actually do want the reload flag to trigger when we hit it, and then when we release it, turn it back off again. Alright, so let's test this. Missed the step. We've got to actually assign the Anim blueprint, otherwise it's not going to do anything. Okay. So we're going to crouch, and we come back up. Crouch, come back up. Prone, come back up. Prone. Huh, our reload isn't working. Let's see why reload isn't working. Oh, I know why it's not working. Because I hit the wrong button because I'm an idiot. There we go. Now I'm just testing on the keyboard right now, so I haven't tested on the gamepad yet. But there we go. We've created anim blends, blend spaces, state machines, and all kinds of logic and input events to get a very basic character moving around. This is actually more detailed than what you get with the standard third-person template. which basically just has a run and a jump. So we got all kinds of cool things going with this character right now. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. We got a lot accomplished. We got our character running around the world. We have a state machine. We have state machines within state machines. We got all kinds of cool things happening here. In the next and final lesson, we're going to talk about how we can take all this logic that we spent all this time building and repurpose it and reuse it for other characters and share it across different skeletons while still making them unique characters. We're also going to dive into some of the more fun aspects of the animation blueprint and some of the cooler features that we can set up, including things like spring controllers on joins and IK systems and the like. So join us next time, and as always, thank you for watching us here at 3dmotive.com.